Hello everybody, this is going to be my first video. Not really much of a video person, but since I do like to try and help out and answer questions that people be asking in some of the groups, figured I'd go ahead and at least make one video to try to jumpstart and make it a little easier than getting lost in the comments. So the one that I'm doing today is a doormat that I got from Home Depot. I'm sure plenty of y'all are probably familiar with it. For my design, first thing I wanted to do was figure out how tall it was. Well, how tall it was. So here, it's about 12.25 inches. I don't like to push it much to the edge, so I'm gonna probably work with about 11 inches. That's gonna give me about right here. And from side to side here, left to right, it's roughly about 24.25 inches. So I would probably only do about 23 inches wide for the design. I'm not going to take up all that space on this one, but that's all of the space that I would personally give myself to work with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put one image here, and I'm going to throw some words together just to put right here for the doormat. This is going to be the first one I'm doing. This one's going to be for myself. So the images that you see on there is not for sale. You can find that kind of stuff anywhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my images printed out, and we'll be back in a second. All right, so I'm back with my prints. Kind of took me a second because I messed around and printed the Bebe's kids on the wrong side of the paper. But anyway, this is pretty much the positioning that I'm gonna have the design on the mat in. So nothing too fancy or fly, just something I wanted to mess with. Show the people that'll be having questions about it. Oh, and the one thing that I did miss in the very beginning, I did kind of do a little prep on the mat. So what I did was I took my vacuumed it real good, and then I used a lint roller to get everything extra off of the mat. So I like to do that with the shirts. So I also decided to go ahead and do it with the mats. So again, this is going to be the positioning pretty much about right here. The image itself is like 8 inches tall and maybe about 7.5 inches wide. And then I have this right here. So I'm going to trim off some of the white because I don't really care to be pressing all of the extras. Get it taped down into position. Then we'll go ahead and take it over to the heat press, where I'm going to press it at 400 for 60 seconds. So I have the press set at 400, 60 seconds. Slide it out. As I showed you, I already had my butcher paper in place. Go ahead and put it on the press. I'm making sure everything is even, so I can get even distribution of the pressure. No part of the mat is hanging out, and we're looking good. So we'll go ahead and get this to pressing while we wait 60 seconds. We'll be back. All right, we are back for the last 10 seconds. We'll go ahead and pop this up. See what our results are looking like, right? All right, pop that up. Seems like we're looking pretty good, I guess. That butcher paper out of the way. Get the peel back. Oh yeah. Looking awesome, 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 awesome. There we go. Let's go ahead and get this back over to the table so I can show you the finished product. So here we are. We are back with the finished product. Looking rather nicely. So yeah, man, these are very fun to mess with. This was my first one. I've been holding out on it. My wife was supposed to come up with a design for the cowgirls, but it's been sitting around and she's too slow, so she's gonna have to take a back seat. But look at how nice and even the press came out. Now keep in mind that because the doormat is not completely white, you will have a little slight variation in your colors, but you will always be pretty satisfied with what your outcome was. And just in case anybody was wondering, what I used for my sublimation, I have a Sawgrass SG1000 printer with a bypass tray, and I use Sublimate ink for those of you that may have a Sawgrass. But this is possible even with the Epsons and everything else. So if you want to get some doormats and have fun, go ahead and knock yourself out. Thanks for tuning in.